As a casual teacher, early in my career, bro, you come and you've got like these workbooks, and a lot of the time you're not even told what grade you're teaching. So you walk into class, and the first 2 hours you have nothing to teach, right? Bro, I could sit down and tell these kids a story for 2 hours, and none of them would stand. They didn't even want to pee. They would just go in the corner and pee and come back because they didn't want to miss out on the story. So, and I used to get all these challenging classes. Obviously, the teacher's away because she's fed up with those kids. I used to come in and be able to sit them down for 2 hours, and then the rumor would spread. Are you the teacher that tells stories? Can you come take our class? Blah, blah. Like, if you can captivate kids, I think you could do all right with adults. So if you guys want to do stand-up, I'm happy to try it.
Because I'm down.
There is no possibility that I will come and watch.
Because I will go. No. Even if I bomb, like if I
trust me, man. I'm telling you this.
No. Let's go, bro.
That's not as easy as what you think it is. I know it's so easy. This is one of the.
Because even if I have to embarrass myself.
Moment again.
No. Because you guys say to me next week, let's go to that. Let's go to an open mic club or open mic night.
All right,
but you know, people like they prep stuff at least, but they have.
Of course, yes. Because sure, you don't think I'm gonna go up there and go, hey guys, how's that weather today?
So, coronavirus.
It's funny, right?
Or is it lying by like stupid stuff? Sure, no. I would do some. I would sit down and write things. Don't get me wrong. Like I would do a bit of trial and error. And
you know what? Fucking challenge accepted. Next week, we want you to come up with stuff. Put it on.
Let's go. Yeah. All right, done. Next week.
All right. We'll be a testing dummy. Okay? We'll tell you if it's funny or not. Nah,
I consider myself a funny bloke. Am I?
Yeah, you're a funny guy.
Am I really?
What the fuck you mean funny?
You think I'm here to make you laugh?
Funny how?
Tell me, what the fuck is fucking so funny?
Funny how? I don't know, you're just funny.
That's such a good movie. That's such a good scene.
Best scene.
How's Cyberpunk?
I got mixed. Well, I haven't played it enough to be unfair on the game. I've put in probably 2.5 hours. One complaint, two actually. One, it's really slow, and I understand the whole, story development and stuff like that. But the other complaint I have is about non-playable characters, NPCs. The world just doesn't feel realistic enough. Like, people are just standing there, awkward conversations. Like, with GTA, if you talk to someone enough, they'll eventually hit you. Or, walk away, you think you're a weird cunt. Like, you can hit T and try talking to this guy for an hour, and nothing happens. Like, it doesn't change. Even the way the shooting is not great. I don't know if it's because I'm used to first-person shooters. I don't like the driving. The driving, physics seems off compared to what GTA is. I feel like it's like the car just sticks too well to the road, or not sticks enough. But there was this one place, and this is coming to the glitches. I was driving and my car was stuck in the road, like there was something underneath it, or my wheels were sinking into the road. Yeah, it was like wet cement. It was like getting bogged. Look, the story seems captivating enough. I think there's a lot of lore to take in. Like, they talk about, this guy's a so-and-so, and you're like, what the fuck does that even mean?
So you got to learn things throughout the game.
Yeah.
So would it be like Fallout? Because Fallout, you got to learn a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah, but Fallout, I think, is just general. Like, you just need to understand, bottle caps are your currency.
That's what I mean. You had to understand that.
That stim packs do certain things. I'm pressing X and injecting myself, so I don't even know what the fuck it does. And it took me a while. I had to actually Google some stuff. I don't know, man. It's going to take me a while to get into it. It's great how big the world is, and I heard that the game actually starts when you meet Keanu Reeves for the first time, and that's when, it takes off. But it's just been a little bit slow. I can't be unfair. I haven't played it enough. It's just, it doesn't feel immersive enough. The world doesn't feel real. The thing that I loved about Red Dead was you'd see a guy, he'd go and pick up a fish from a barrel, put it on the table, start chopping the fish. You actually see him doing it. Whereas this, you see a guy get a burger and he's like, and it's it's just not immersive enough for me.
See, I haven't played it yet. The furthest I went was, as we talked about last episode,
Dick creation.
Dick creation. And then that, I just haven't had time. But from everything that I've read, everyone's saying that it's pretty much agreeing with you. It's not polished, but it's out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The graphics are insane. It wasn't... I think what they built it up, the graphics, it met that criteria. It met that satisfaction. Mm-hmm. Everyone went, sweet. The story, I haven't heard too much complaint about the story.
I heard it's a bit short, but...
See, that part I haven't heard. I think what the aim of this game is not single player mode. The aim of the way I see this game is they released it. They're gonna go, okay, we need to fix this, this, and this, and this. Roll out multiplayer.
Yeah.
I think that's the aim because GTA is the reason why it's so successful now is multiplayer.
Yeah.
They absolutely killed it with multiplayer.
But see, what upsets me about Cyberpunk is you've got GTA that's setting your platform of what open world and this sort of game should be, right? Like, and you're talking GTA is what 10 years old, like it's an old game. If that's your working off, it should be better. And in my opinion, I don't think it is. And you're talking about it, you're competing with a game that 10 years ago, the graphics obviously has come a long way since then. I just feel like even when GTA came out, it was way more polished than what Cyberpunk is now.
And I agree with you from that. Only on the basis of what I've seen, not what I've played.
Yeah.
And it does make me sad, like, because it's what is it, 7 years, 8 years or something like that, waiting for this game to come out.
I think they announced it 2014 or something, if I'm not wrong.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah.
It was funny because it's so, like, there's so much videos coming out. I've seen a video where, again, whether it's true or not, I've got no idea, but the title was PS4 blowing up because it's trying to run Cyberpunk.
Well, yeah,
It's so heavy on consoles, like it's unbelievably heavy.
they've given...
That's what they're talking about. I'm reading the comments. It's like, I'll play this with my PS4 and it's not bad. And then you got another guy going, my PS4 broke, or I was just seeing like a few frames per second or whatnot.
Yeah, they're giving refunds to PS4 players.
Also the refunds.
I think they took Cyberpunk off the Sony Play Store, the PlayStation Network Store, whatever it's called.
Do you reckon they go just push it to just get it out? Like the finance guys were like, bro, like, come on, man, we've paid all this money, just get it out already.
No, because the money was always there. Does that make sense? Because this game has been that long, and because it's backed by someone that's credible, you know what I mean? Like, they're the creators of Witcher 3 at the end of the day. What is that, CD Rekt or whatever it's called? Project Rekt or something.
Unreal.
No, it's
the
CD Projekt Red.
That's the one. Like, they're backed well. Like, even it's like Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean? If Grand Theft Auto delayed a game for ages, they're gonna go, okay. Also, Rockstar delayed a game for ages. People are still gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the money was always there. I think that's what the sad part is. They were I think they were focusing on something so unique based on graphics that they forgot about gameplay a bit.
Yeah, and look, CD Projekt Red did a really good job of making choices in Witcher 3. I know I haven't put in enough, and there's going to be choices that change my thing. I think there's 5 different endings for the game.
That's pretty cool.
But
5.
I want to be, like, I want to establish my character from the word go. Like, have you met that big guy yet? I can't remember his name.
I haven't got past Dick.
Okay, so you meet that guy. Like, I should be able to make a choice on whether I'm friendly to him or an asshole. Like, there's certain things you can ask, but it just makes you follow that. Like, one of them will be highlighted yellow, and you know that that's going to take you to the next step of conversation. And then there's, like, to get details, there's other questions. Like, I'd like there to be, at least early on, 2 choices that you can make where he's like, do you want to do this? And you're like, no. Or like, oh, if I fucking have to. Like, I want to give the guy attitude, or I want to be nice to him according to what I think of the character. Whereas conversations very early on have been, we're making the choice for you. You can only really say this.
So you're thinking more of adapting what LA Noire was?
Yes, but The Witcher was that. Witcher, straight from the word go, you can be an asshole to Siri, you can be an asshole
it's like
to...
Fallout too.
Yeah, Fallout as well. Because you can walk up to a guy and, like, if your charisma or whatever, your speaking is good enough, you can influence him not to fight with you at the time. Or you can be like an asshole. Like, in Witcher, the first couple of minutes, you go into a bar, like a pub or whatever, and there's these guys who are, like, teasing you and just being an asshole. They're pretty much calling you a freak. So you can just ignore it and walk out. And later on, those people that you didn't kill, you meet them. Or you can be a prick and kill them. And then the people in the pub are like, you need to get out now. And when you go to do that mission, like 2-3 hours later, you don't have those people sort of helping you in that mission. You know what I mean? So I think CD Projekt Red did a really, really good job of consequences versus, like, choices that you make. I just haven't seen it in Cyberpunk yet. And once again, I'm saying I haven't played it enough. So this could all go out the window when I put in another 10 hours this week into it or whatever.
Hopefully, man. Are you going to play it?
No. I have no time, dude. I
I
have 2
am
kids.
not interested in this shit.
Like, I'm actually curious now that I know you guys are, expecting, God willing. I'm questioning how you guys are gonna put in the time. You guys I get jealous when you guys on the WhatsApp.
I have a
go,
wife.
Anyone online? Anyone want to play a few games like that? I think you said it earlier this week, and I was like, bro, I just sat on bed and I was like, I'm dying to play, but I ain't getting out of bed. I'm too tired to go play. You know what I mean? And I was just like, surely these guys aren't like. I played the first child is easy, or it's decent. Like it's not so bad, but the second one is just impossible, man. Ask any parents with 2 kids or more, man. It's just so hard. Not so hard.
I don't know.
It's not hard. It's just it's draining.
Like the way I see it, and this again, I haven't gone through it yet, but the way I just see it is plenty of people have done it before us.
Yeah,
and plenty of people are gonna do it after us.
That's how I was going through it, like that male.
Alpha male.
Alpha male. He's like, yeah, well, I've partied hard nights. Cause I swear to God, that's what I was saying. I was like, man, I've partied. I've done benders where I haven't slept. A few hours I won't sleep. At least as long as I can get 2-3 hours, I'm good. I don't know. It's just your mindset or your psychology. It's just, I don't know. It gets tested. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, we're gonna find out.
So you've got 2 weeks.
I've got
2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 and a bit weeks or something like that. Barring it sticks to the actual due date itself. You never know. It could come early, could come later. But now we just put everything together. But other than that, it's playing the waiting game. So are you going to be burning if I say, Ian, you jumping on after it gives birth?
No, I'm just really busy at this point in my life. That's why.
No, it's just busy period, man.
Yeah, it is. It's a busy period. Holiday season,
Christmas running and all that type of stuff.
The wrap up at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely insane, man. And I'm avoiding shopping centers. I'm avoiding humans, literally.
You know what? I'll come clean. Me and the wife actually now that I won't say panic buying, but we actually went to the shops yesterday and we bought a little bit more than usual, just in case something does go off and we're forced to stay at home. That way, just the whole safe thing. If we have to go home, like at least we don't have to go to the shops. We can avoid one area regardless. Like, even though I'm a skeptic, I'm still taking the necessary precaution.
Am I expecting to go to the shopping center and there's no toilet paper?
No, because it was all stocked up. But we just bought that, extra, 40 tissues just in case. Keep it downstairs in the garage.
Do you reckon we'll get locked down? Why not?
I don't know. Like, people are freaking out. Like, oh, lockdown's coming back. And I'm like, it's the middle of summer. Like, surely someone's just got a mad strain of a decent flu going around, and these wimps up in the northern beaches just can't handle it.
Well, it's not them. They're obviously no one's died or anything like that. It's just
that's what I mean.
Like, just going crazy.
Now it's like it's getting pretty obvious that the media is trying to I don't know, fearmonger us, or the fearmongering from the media. It's just, I don't know. It's becoming a little obvious now, isn't it?
I don't know, man.
Because it's not even deaths anymore. It's 15 cases reported. So, 15 of those cases are going to recover next week.
But I think that's what they're thinking. They're more like, okay, there's 15 cases. Now, where did these 15 cases... Well, I have to say potential... I don't know, man. It's such a hard thing, to talk about, because there's so... You got this... Yep. Again, we're this topic is... It's the topic
I told you we were going to talk about this.
Again, I don't know what to say anymore, because it's like you have... UK and America doing all their vaccines and stuff like that. Then you see videos based on that and you don't know what to believe. Then you see these, 25 people, 29 cases, whatever is in the northern suburbs. Then Queensland's dumb fuck premier just goes, oh, we're going to monitor the situation. And then Victoria's like, here, suck shit, you're now one of us. And WA just goes, nah, everyone from New South Wales is not allowed in quarantine. So
clubs in that are open, yeah? Everything's normal pretty much now.
Before this or after this?
Clubs were running. Aren't clubs running pubs and that? Yeah.
Yeah. From what I know, everything is still normal. And they're saying that potentially, I don't know how you enforce this, that everyone in the northern suburbs will enter a lockdown. It's like, okay, what, do they have a fucking wall around them or something?
No, every main intersection in that region, or that say you make a
Yeah, but the irony is, they're saying
so
that...
they block off the roads.
Go back.
You know what's going to happen? Some cunt's going to be like, I'm locked in here, cough on my drone, fly to the western suburbs.
Stops like your mum. But no, but the funny thing is, one of the places that was listed on the list is in Penrith. As in where that person went. So, there's no one gave a fuck about Penrith.
Is that even Australia?
No, you need a passport to get into there. But like that's what I'm saying. Like, as in, okay, they listed a place where you got to potentially watch out in Penrith, but all the focus on northern suburbs. Like, I don't get this. Like, okay, everyone in North, like, yeah, those people, they got flagged, whatever. I still wonder how they got flagged to begin with. And then there's that rumor that they don't test airline crews.
Surely not.
Apparently that's the rumor. Like, where they're going because of that many people coming in and out, they won't have the time to be able to do so. Because think about it, if you get tested, you're down and out for what, say 2 days, 1 day, until you get your result back. It's not instantaneous.
Yeah.
So imagine a whole day's crew or pilots, people that work
And
within
they're doing
airports.
like a stopover and then they go back into the next
Yeah, and
day.
but they're out for 2 days, and then you got to find another shift or another set of people to do that job, and then they get tested, and then they get, like, you know what I mean? Like,
But bro, let me just say,
I don't know.
as a normal citizen, I've been tested twice, and as a normal citizen that doesn't have any priority or whatever, I got my results within 10 hours, right?
Okay.
If you're putting these crew as priority, right? You test them, bro. The test takes 3 minutes. They stick something in your nose, in your throat, you're done.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, and if they're prioritizing it, bro, if they can set up these clinics on the side of the road in normal buildings, I'm sure they can set one up in an airport where the test gets done straight away and they know within half an hour or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how long the test takes, but surely they can do it in faster than 10 hours. Like, mine's not taking 10 hours because it takes that long to do the test. It's just taking that long to take it to the lab and then...
You're saying on-site testing?
Yeah, exactly. So in 10 hours, I'm getting a text that's telling me that I'm negative or positive. Someone's got to like look through these results and then type the text out on whatever it is to send them out. So if you're prioritizing crew, I'm sure that they can do it in a way that doesn't affect them too much.
I don't know. This is where all the ifs and buts, and this is where all the skeptics part of it begins, which is where like you came up with a solution or like a probable solution. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, why don't we do that? And no one does, and they go, well, because the government's not doing that, therefore it's not right or not real.
It's another thing, like you said, it's just a rumor. So in times like this, people just talk shit, right?
yeah.
It's like all these people are like, yeah, but they're probably not doing this, and then somebody hears probably, and then he goes and tells his friend, you know, they're not testing them, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's all hearsay. I don't know anyone who's actually
Because COVID
flying
is fake.
at the wow.
Because COVID is fake.
Space is fake.
COVID is fake.
Flat Earth.
The Earth is flat. But yeah, it's just hearsay. I don't actually know. I have a lot of friends who are like airplane crew, but all of them are out of work right now, so it's not like something I can ask them.
Yeah,
and be
I'm
like,
working
do you
with a
guys
couple
get
of
tested?
guys. I'm working with a pilot that he's going. I pretty much lost my job because of COVID.
Wow.
Lost job, or he's just stood
He
down?
just stood down.
Big
Yeah.
difference. There's a massive difference between that.
What stood down? Like just go away for now and then come back when everything resumes.
Stood down is pretty much you're a pilot. We don't have any work for you. We're not gonna be able to pay you. So we're standing you down. That's all it is. The one is usually disciplinary actions where they go, look, you've done this and this. We're standing you down. But now in this one, I think it's more along the lines of, look, due to what's happening, we're gonna have to stand you down. We just don't have work for you. Okay.
Yeah.
So and then that's what it is. But whether it's more along the lines of, oh, we got work now, come back. But this guy's going, man, I got another job.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pickpacking now, and it's way better.
Who needs to fucking fly?
I went to uni for 4 years to pack boxes, and it's a much better profession. Yeah, bro, I'm turning into a fucking polar bear here. So during the week,
Is that
I
paused?
burn under the sun.
Is that paused?
No.
Oh, still going.
No, we're still going. Yeah, bro.
Okay, sorry.
So during the week, I burn under the sun, and then I come here and I fucking freeze. So like it sort of makes
That's
up
why I
for all
brought
the
my
burn.
jumper because I'm like, oh, just in case. But nah, I think I'm just hot.
Bro, you know what? Talking about like sort of relating back to Cyberpunk, obviously I'm an electrician and I've been working in the sun. I've been getting darker and I can just see my face how burnt I am. My dick is getting bigger too. Like as I get darker, my dick just gets bigger. Oh, it's so good.
I don't know how you related that to...
Because Cyberpunk, the second you change your, I don't know. I'm not making any more comments.
As soon as... I'll take over here. So as soon as you change your skin color and you become more of a darker nature, you're saying that your penis gets larger?
It gets way bigger.
Does it
yeah.
really?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
Science! Oh, that's good.
But you know what? If you were to tell me that, I mean, I would have believed it. It just makes it's like common sense.
What?
That black guys are just naturally bigger.
It's
aren't
not
they?
true. It's not true.
Yeah,
Look,
just
it's
fucking around.
look. It might be that it's a higher chance, but I used to be really good friends, like fully friend zoned by this girl. We're like best friends. You know, Sonia. I shouldn't have name dropped. Cancel that. I'll start it again.
Yeah.
Cause I was
Hold
like,
on, let me
this guy
switch.
serious?
Let me switch to him and then start talking.
So I used to be. It's not true because I used to be friends with this girl. Got fully friend zoned, and she would only be going out with a certain ethnic background of guys, and she was disappointed about how small their penises was in general. So it's like, I don't think Cyberpunk's done the wrong thing by changing your thing, and then it doesn't alter your penis size.
Why are we talking about dicks?
Why not?
Why not? Because we
If you're a-
all possess one, so we have something in
We
common.
get to give good reasons, good rating system based on this.
If you remember, bro, high school, it was a daily thing to talk about how big your dick was.
Yeah, bro. It was such an ego thing.
Yeah,
too.
bro. It's like, yeah, small dick. Oh, and you'd fully get it. It's not that small. Like,
I don't know, man. I was doing other stuff while I was in high school. I don't know about you guys, but I wasn't going to the bathroom measuring my utensil in my pants. Nah, man. You know what I was thinking about like today? Like so how long has it been since we finished school?
11 years.
13 years. 2007 we finished. But if you
sorry,
but you know
that's
what's actually
something else.
even worse? When did you start high school? 18 years ago. Next year's 19.
well, you know what's even worse? When were you born? 30 years ago.
I know,
Bro.
man, 30 years.
Well, like how I mentioned earlier today about starting kind of a new job. I have this like authority now, and I don't know how to describe it, but it's like it's gratifying in a sense. Or it's like I enjoy the authority I have, where people ask me whether they can drink water or not. You know what I mean? Just those simple things. It's just like I have a decision over whether you get to drink or stay hydrated.
I like how you're promoting slavery upon your workforce.
No. But these cute people, they genuinely ask me. They go, "Look, is it alright if I go drink some water?" I'm just looking. I'm going, dude, as if you're gonna ask me. Like, I don't know whether you blame their naivety or.
No, look. It comes back down to the education system. Think about school. You had to put your hand up.
But like, these were
Can I have
grown
a
men.
drink?
Grown men.
Yeah, but you're saying that they're young guys.
It's like it started off with the young guys, and then there was one older guy, and then there was another older gentleman that asked.
But
me.
see, you've grown up in you've worked in a relatively relaxed
Because he
field
could
of
have
work
just
for a
said to
long
me,
time.
"Where's the bathroom?" Not can I go to the toilet?
No,
in
bro.
fact, he didn't even ask
But
for
isn't that respect?
Well, that's what I mean. Someone respects me.
Bro, I
It
would,
doesn't even happen in my family.
Exactly.
I would argue against that because it depends on the line of work you work in, bro. Like I was saying, you work in a quite relaxed thing. You're driving trucks. You
Yeah.
pee when you want. You eat
Bro.
when you want. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll give you a con. Oh my god, the idiots I got to deal with, bro. So many stupid people. That's all I'm gonna say because I got these people to subscribe. So if they do watch, I don't want to mention.
they're good
names.
when they subscribe. They're
Yeah,
all
no,
right.
they're
decent people.
no, they're all right. They actually are all right, but bro, so many people problem as management. I don't know whether you guys have experienced that.
Fuck, you've got 2 days experience.
No, 'cause I've had a
Bro,
whole
I've
week.
been working for 48 hours.
Cause a whole week, bro, I've dealt with people like such stupid issues. It's like I've sat there and gone, dude, I came here to work. Let's work. I don't know why we're discussing this. Like those kind of problems. Where it was
But
like,
part of that role, you inherit.
I know it's
people's
like I feel like I'm a
problems.
HR department, bro. Send me an email when you're ready.
Auto file delete. Nah, look. You know what's funny about it was going back to what Emin said, which is like the education system sort of thing. When I first started year 7 at the school that we all went to, I remember that because again I'm not pretentious, but I did go to a private school from kindergarten to year 6.
Fucking snobby bastard.
Up your
Hey,
nose.
I'm a nice person. But so the teacher walked in, first subject, I stood up because that's part of the private school nature that was. I got looked like I'm a fucking idiot. Even the teacher looked at me like I'm an
Oh
idiot.
yeah, I
You know
can
what I mean?
so relate.
How
That-
dare you give me that respect?
But then it comes down to like that, which is these guys, they understand level of chain of command, if that makes sense, where it's more like, okay, you're the boss, therefore I'm going to treat you like a boss. And then you got other
I
fuckwits.
just pictured like one kid going, "Hey, loser."
What are you doing standing up, asshole?
Why are you standing? Why are you standing?
Nah, I miss high school, man. I really do miss high school.
I do miss high school.
Like,
Bro, I miss high school so much.
Simpler
just to
times.
muck around. Oh my god.
Simple.
but
Simpler
would you
times.
change anything if you
No.
went back?
No.
Not from that, like, not from a social.
Yeah,
like,
all the
social
times I got into trouble, yeah, I'll change those definitely.
I'd get into more trouble.
and more of those embarrassing moments as well. In high
I'd get
school.
better haircuts. I look back at the photos. I'm like, why the fuck did I have that haircut?
Because you were the. If there was any wog that could be more Aussie, that was you, bro.
I was like, hey bro, how you going? How you going, mate? You alright? Are you?
I got snakes. That's all that reminds me of you. It's just
Snake
I remember when Evan like came back because me and him went to primary school as well, and they're like, "Oh, there's this new snake guy in here," and I'm like, "Snake guy? I'm interested."
Fucking crikey!
Crikey, there's a guy with snakes, and then they're like, "Oh, it's Evan." I'm like, "What?" Like it did not make sense.
Because
to
you
me.
were very Aussie when I first
Bro,
met you.
I'll tell you the story, right? Like, I went to a school.
Because like the
That was
evolution
like-
of Emin. Bro, it's-
I can just see those apes and shit becoming humans.
But one of them is this, bro. You and your ears. Remember this?
But yeah, I came from a school that was like dominated by certain ethnic backgrounds, right? So there was 3 in particular. We didn't fit into them, my background being Turkish. And if you weren't one of them, you just got beaten by all of them, right? Like, it's a massive bullying issue. So we grouped up with the other minority in the group, which was white people, like Australians.
seriously?
Yeah. And we grouped up with them. So there was about 30 of us and there was 30 of them, and it gave us 60 together, which meant if we were getting jumped by 30 people or 300 people, it was only 5 on 1, not like 30 on 1. So the influence sort of rubbed
5 on
off, and
30.
that's you know,
Just go back to back.
we talked about fitting in and stuff, right? Like in the past.
Yeah, bro.
So I just adopted things like, bro, I'll be honest, I still surf, and that's seen as, you know, that's such an Aussie thing to
Full
do.
Aussie, bro.
But it was my interest. Like, I wanted to skateboard. I wanted to BMX. Like, we were the kids that came into school and we had our skateboards. We'd leave them at the office and then skate out of
But
school
you
after
know what?
work.
It's
after
hard
school.
not to bring that stereotype. Like when I think of skate, bro, it's fun. I've surfed with him. I've surfed with Emin many times, and it's so fun. But it's so tiring. But with that said, it looks like an Aussie thing because all the Aussies do it. Not that it's a problem or anything, but I think what I was trying to get at was you can't help but think it's a stereotype, right?
Definitely. But I'm sort of a person too that challenges stereotypes. Like, simple story. We had to have a girl in our soccer team in primary school, right? I was like, oh, it's only fair that you have a girl on the team. We were like, bro, we were young boys. We didn't want to play with a girl. So then I challenged the system,
Bro,
and I was
what
like,
girl was willing to like jump on a team with
bro,
four
I've
boys?
seen some gun player girls. I mean, but this girl, she was okay, but we just wanted to play with the boys, and it meant that one of the boys that we were friends with missed out because she got the spot in the team.
Oh.
So I challenged the system, and I was like, well, I want to play netball then. And they're like, no, it's a girls' sport. I'm like, yeah, you're sticking a girl in our soccer team, so that means I can be a boy in the netball team. And that rule has changed now.
Cause
You're allowed to
netball
have
looks
two
like a
boys.
fun game.
Because it is a very fun
It
game.
looks very fun.
It's like basketball, but without bouncing,
Oh,
pretty much.
I played basketball this week. Actually,
Basketball?
I got basketball. I got pushed, and I scratched my hand on
And you
my
got
elbow
fouled for it.
because it's so competitive, bro. Like, you know how they say the fire inside you.
Miami Heat.
Yeah.
No, but the genuine, the competition or that competitiveness that came out of me is like, bro, I want to punch on because I was so competitive. We lost, and we lost pretty embarrassingly to the team that came second last year. But like this, like them.
Wow.
Losers.
But no,
It's
like,
so
bro,
competitive,
I was
so we lost
burning
to the
because
team.
like the team, like it was a team thing. Like, there was no individual play that just fucked it up for us. It was like the whole team just fucked up, you know. Anyways, it was a burn job because like these fat guys were killing us, and you know I want to call that as it is. I want to be honest.
Sorry.
The fat guys, there was like the layups. Layups are just easy 2 points, yeah.
Yeah.
They were just doing layups and they were killing us, and it was burn job because we had the actual better players. But it was just like, you know, the chemistry, it doesn't stick. We kept missing balls. You know, we fought this
It
guy was
wasn't
running
your
this,
night.
it wasn't night. And bro, like I was that filthy. I was that salty. Like I wanted to punch on.
Bro, basketball is a really different game, right? So we've all played soccer most of our lives. you're defending. You do man-to-man marking, right, in soccer. That guy's yours. You know, you stay on him unless there's like a change of plans. You're communicating. You got him.
So many rules.
With basketball, a lot of people will play zone defending, so you don't stick to a man, but the left side is yours. And even if they switch over, you just learn to switch over, right? And this took me a while to learn. I played 1 season of basketball. It took me a while to pick it up. Is that I would stick to the guy that I was on, and in basketball, if you stick to the guy that you're on, you're completely leaving that zone open for a guy to come in, right? So it's just a different way of defending. And they do man-to-man marking as well, but I think zone is easier to manage. It's just like whoever switches to that side, that's yours. You know what I mean? So it takes a time. Like you losing your first game isn't that bad because it takes a long time to build that chemistry.
Second game lost, cuz.
Have you played competitive sport before?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, cuz.
No, like as in where you sign up for the year.
Yeah.
And stick to the team.
Like, he's played it indoor. Have you played?
Bro.
You played indoor.
I played outdoor.
Have you played with people that aren't your friends? Ever?
Yeah. With Uman's old team, like all the Suda boys, good kind. I never knew those guys.
Okay.
Amit Kala, that's how I know Amit Kala. A few other boys, I can't remember at the moment, but
I was just
bro.
curious to see if it was
Bro, in
like
fact,
that.
I didn't make the cut for Uman's team, and they dropped me down to a shit division. So I played with kids. I played
under sixes.
No. It was under. I can't remember how old it was. It was like under 14s, but it was like 12-year-olds or 10-year-olds playing, or something stupid like that. And we copped like 8-0, 9-0 every week. And like I had one opportunity and I missed it. Like the whole defense was, the whole team was in our half because that's how fucked the shit our team was. And they accidentally made a break, and I think I got the ball, made a run for it, and I was like, the defense was behind me, so I'm running in there. By the time I got to the goals, I was tired. So the fucking embarrassment, I still remember. This still haunts me, this memory, because the attempt I made to make that shot was embarrassing. It was just like, could you imagine that? Like, whatever, and it just went to the side, and I was like, I can't believe I missed that opportunity.
So when you didn't get promoted to MS, they actually had a reason.
But I'm sure MS should remember this. He'll probably remember this more if he ever comes on. He can explain this too. His team actually came to one of our games after they like smashed this team 4-0 or something. Their team was a good team, yeah. Like they were making finals every year or some shit. Anyways, they came to our team and it was just like a dizzy. You can see in their eyes, the whole team was watching us. And I'm like, fuck, what's the score? It's like 5-0. And it's like, fuck, how embarrassing, man.
But I can't stop thinking when you said that they put you onto that downgraded team. You know that episode of Rick and Morty where there's that slow Rick, tall Morty? You know that guy how they're in the classroom? And there's that dumb Rick and he's like... you know that one? Because it's the Citadel or Rick's where there's the cop and stuff like that where it's training day. And there's those kids with the lizard. And, and he's like, yes, slow Rick, tall Morty. It's like you're like slow 14-year-old, big 12-year-old.
No, I remember that. I don't remember that episode actually because I keep watching that. Like every time I go past episode season 4, I just put it back onto season 1.
Yeah, same. I've watched it over 100 times, I reckon.
Never watched it.
You need
such
to.
a fun show.
It's I watched episode 1 and then
because I can't watch it. I can't watch anything anymore with the kids around, bro. Everything is so rude, man. Like I was watching Fat Pizza last night. Rick and Morty is starting to get rude too because they swear a lot. So now, like,
it's an adult.
It's hard,
it's an adult
bro.
show.
It is such an adult show.
Why don't
bro,
you watch Thomas or something?
Because it's so boring. I can't watch any of the kids shows. I don't know, man. It's just so.
I don't know, bro. I think we had pretty good kids shows. Like my dad, I don't know if he's like a slow Rick, but he used to watch Rugrats with me, and Rugrats was a fucking good show.
Cause
bro.
I know my dad used to watch Rugrats. We used to go watch the Rugrats movies in the cinemas.
Yeah, Rugrats was a really fucking good show.
Cause tell me one show that came close to Rugrats.
Pokemon.
Recess was pretty good.
What's Recess?
You didn't watch Recess on Disney? It was about these kids.
Bro, SpongeBob.
No, that's a shit cartoon.
Nah, bro, SpongeBob
Nah.
is
It's such a shit show.
SpongeBob is fucking insane. Like me and Imran,
Yeah.
okay, we went. This was 2003 or 4 when the first SpongeBob movie came out. We were the only adults in this movie. Like we're talking. So what were we? We were like 12, 13 years old. I'm talking the rest of the cinema.
4-year-olds.
4 or 5-year-olds. Mind you, no one is laughing. No one. Except me and Imran.
Guys,
The bit is like when he just goes. There was one part I won't forget. We were pissing ourselves laughing, and we were just getting eyed out by kids. Where they were in the bathroom, and they just started making stupid noises to each other. Like they're just like, nah, and he's like, blah, 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 like back and forth for like a minute. Me and Imran were on the floor dying in there, and then. When we left the movie, like, you can clearly see that we were fucking retards. Like, everyone's just leaving like, Mom, can we just go to bed? Me and your man were speaking about the movie all the way home. Like, I love... Rugrats, I reckon, is overrated, man.
Nah, dude.
Overrated.
I can't stand SpongeBob, and this is no offense to you if you find it. It's just low fucking intelligence comedy, and
Exactly.
I can't stand that. It's not...
It's so good.
Why I like Rick and Morty is because they drop a line, and in 4 minutes you're like, fuck, that's what he fucking meant. Like, you actually have to think about
There's
it.
a big difference between SpongeBob and Rick and Morty. Bro.
Yeah, but I'm just talking
bro.
in general. And that's why I don't like SpongeBob, the story is so fucking shit. There's no story. And it's just
Hey,
fucking annoying noises. It's so fucking annoying. When we were on our honeymoon, it was on, and I was like, I refuse to fucking watch this. Like, I'd rather watch
Nah, I'll watch
Bro,
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob is epic. Like, nah, for me, okay, and this was, I reckon, Cheese TV. Cheese TV.
Cheesy was
I
alright.
always watch
The
Dragon
three in
Ball
a
Z.
row, but the three in a row. It was the Digimon, the Pokemon, and the Dragon Ball Z.
No.
What do you mean, no?
It was Sailor Moon.
The Sailor Moon was when Digimon went on break.
No, it was Sailor Moon. I remember was always the earliest, and then it was something else. It was either Dragon Ball Z.
No, Pokemon.
Or it was Pokemon.
Dragon
yeah.
Ball Z
Dragon Ball Z
all
was, yeah,
8
after.
p.m. and I always
We had to go to school.
Yeah, I remember the school I had to was the 10-minute walk. So 8:15 I left, and the last 15 minutes I had to record and then rewatch it, watch it at 4 p.m.
But it was just this. Oh, the
man,
last
that-
15 minutes
that,
anyway. The spirit bomb.
It took fucking 30
Boy,
episodes.
yeah. Very decent episode.
Like now when you watch, you're like, dude, I'll give you all the energy. Just hurry the fuck up, bro.
I always used to think logically, like, surely there's got to be a better way to get this spirit bomb going.
Bro, the thing is, you'd come to school and be like, bro, did you watch the episode? Yeah, he was like, oh, for 30 minutes. And it's like, do you reckon he's going to drop it tomorrow? Yeah, 100% he is. Like,
And then Friday comes and it's like, will he drop it? Tune in next week. And we're like, can't wait.
That's part of the funny part because it's like, last time on Dragon Ball Z. Oh! And it's like, next time on Dragon Ball Z.
I'm sure it was, he had to grab something from the earth.
Yeah, he
The
was
earth
getting the
was-
power from the earth.
It was the power from everyone on Earth, the soil, everyone just doing this for an episode, man.
Did you guys ever play the PvP Dragon Ball Z game
Yes.
on PC in the internet cafes back in the days?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
it was the modded version
This is the Kame
for Half-Life. Yeah, it was. I remember this. And
What
was
game
the
was it? I
name?
know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, another one you're talking about. It's free roam and you can verse people and shit like that.
Exactly.
That was the shit.
Bro, I used to, like...
That was a pretty good game.
You'd get stronger as you kill people. So every kill made you stronger, right? And, bro, I remember this one time... I came into the game late and the boys had been playing for an hour or whatever. Bro, I pulled out a spirit bomb, took like 30 seconds to do it. And you know the little... It was like the first attack. It just throws 3 yellow things.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Bro, those 3 yellow things pushed my spirit bomb back. And I'm like, really?
But it took 30 episodes. What happened? Nah, that was a mad game, man.
Did you guys watch Aggro? Aggro's Cartoon Connection?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aggro was hectic, bro.
It was
Aggro is very early, but that's
It's
90s.
very early. Yeah,
90s
early
at
90s.
least.
Yeah. I remember
And then it
waking
died
up
off.
on Saturdays to watch cartoons, and then it would be followed up by like video hits.
You know
And I
what?
was like, that
is
was
it-
my Saturday.
You know what's a blast from the past? Did you just watch Art Attack?
Yes. This is an art attack.
No.
This is an art
Isn't that
attack.
the
Bro,
guy
they
that drives with his nose?
Bro, he used to do paintings on the road. Like,
Which one was the guy that drew with his nose?
That's
Squiggles.
Mr.
Mr.
Squiggle,
Squiggle.
the man from the
The
moon.
guy with the dick nose.
He used to draw it upside down too.
He would flip it, and it's like fucking dick like this on his
Mr.
fucking
Squiggles.
face.
Mr. Squiggle was good.
or Arthur. Arthur after
Arthur
school.
was alright.
Arthur
Arthur
was the
after
best.
school.
Arthur
Every
was good.
time when you're walking down the street.
Dude, I love it. Like, the one thing I loved about Arthur, he used to wear headphones like this, but his ears were here. He's like, oh, logic, fuck it.
What about Arnold, the football head?
Oh, yeah.
that was
made
like
no sense whatsoever.
5:30 or 4:30.
It was like, bro, what about the issues that girl brought on girls? Like, she was super attached with him, but then bullied him at the same time. Remember the girl that was into him?
That's life.
Yeah,
like, shut up, that's
pretty
life.
much.
A girl likes you, they bully you. Like, that is life. Like, guys are the same. You like someone, you just treat them like shit.
Hey Arnold, your football head.
Now you know what's sad, and this when you woke up for Cheese TV one day and it wasn't
September
on
11
because
happened.
September 11
I
wasn't
know.
on. At our age, we didn't understand. It was just like, hey, this spirit bomb, it was gonna drop today.
No, you know what? This is how old this time was. This is how far back we're going, okay? There was no phones for the kids. I remember 9/11 happening, and then I checked because the news was still going. And I didn't even look at what the news was presenting. So all I saw was this damaged building burning. Had no idea what was going, cuz. I looked at the TV guide that we got in the Sunday Morning Heralds to check to see what time Cheese TV started. That's how old we were. That's how young we were.
I know. I remember
That's how, what would you call that? Like,
naive.
No, it's
not
more
naive.
like
The technological advancement in the
okay.
world.
Yeah.
Like how, I don't know, what would be the word for that?
What do you mean, like
Limited we were in technology.
No, but we were. But if you think about it, that was the pinnacle of it.
Now, because you just go on the phone. You can look it up, or you just go on YouTube and watch that actual thing.
Don't worry about
Your
it.
TV tells you what's on for the next
exactly that
Next
too.
38 years.
Yeah. But like, I remember that day, bro. I remember not giving a shit too. Like, I looked and I was like, oh, fuck, might as well go to school early so I can kick a ball around or whatever. Like, that's how much I didn't care. And our teacher used to sit us in a circle and we'd talk about current affairs and like what was happening in the news that week. Yeah. Bro, a lot of the time it just went to Simpson references, so she ended up not doing this. Like, Jay would remember this actually. And we sat around the circle and we were talking about 9/11 because I didn't understand what the hell was going on. I'd never heard the word terrorism before, right?
Yeah, it was such
And,
a new term.
The teacher's like, oh, so what do you guys think? And she pointed at me. She's like, Emin, what do you think? I'm like, I think the plane was flying and he tried to miss it. Okay, you can see him turning and then he tried to miss it, but then he went in and then she's like, yeah, but what about the other 3 planes? I'm like, there was 3 other planes? I'm like, it just kept showing the same video of the plane going into the building.
attack by George W. Bush
And
and
then
the elite.
And then she was like, oh, this was a terrorist attack. I'm like, what is a terrorist?
I remember the school that I went to again. It's the private school, so we got a full lecture about it. I'm in the same boat as you guys. Like, it was not like, oh, something happened and I'm paying attention to it. Mind you, they told us in the morning, like, such and such happened and it was wrong and blah, 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 blah. But I was filling out my recess order at the time, so I will not. You know when you put it on the bag,
Yeah.
the money and everything, and you're like, you said something. What did you say, man? Like, I was not paying attention. Man. Like,
It's like, can I have a chicken corn roll with Twin Towers?
Can I say, my parents were actually paranoid. They were nervous. To the point where my dad didn't want me to go to school.
What, for retaliation?
That's how paranoid, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, because it had just happened. He came home from work. He was doing graveyard shifts. And then my mum was like hesitant to take us because I was like, why? And she was explaining to me, your dad doesn't want because of this and this. And because being the young kid that I was, I only took in so much information and realised what the hell was going on. You know, I took it with a grain of salt. But even to that point, like, I don't know whether my dad was just over paranoid or, you know, like we as children didn't realise how serious the situation was.
But you know what's funny? Like, we're connecting it back to what you were saying about children. Like, now you have kids. You know what I mean? And that thing is gonna it's still carrying on till this day. Where, look, if you look at your children now, look at just this year in general, they don't understand the reason why everything is happening. And it's going to be our responsibility, or it's currently your responsibility to guide them through it or make them understand. And it is, and it's not going to stop. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be so much things that's going to come, whether it's next year, the year before, or if another, like, say, like another world war pops up and Australia gets
I was thinking
involved.
about that.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, something like that. And if you actually, like, genuinely think about it, when was the last World War? 1944?
45.
Early 40s.
45.
So our parents didn't deal with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, they dealt with, you know, when America went to war in Vietnam and you had the Soviet War and all that, but like an actual world war. If something like that does come up, we're effectively trying to guide children that don't understand the concept of it. And they could potentially have the same conversation we're having.
Yeah.
I woke up to go on YouTube and YouTube was down one day. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like there was a world war.
Yeah,
Like,
look, back then it wasn't as, like, there wasn't so much media attached to it, so today it's going to be worse. But I want to ask you guys a question. Pre-2001, when September 11 happened, do you remember anything in your life that was like, what is going on, as big as September 11 was? Like a little war or little, like, you know what I mean? Like, When I look back at, my teenagehood, I think of Cronulla riots as being like a
Cronulla
big
riots
thing,
was a
right?
massive
But
one.
they were all post 2001. Before 2001, I don't remember ever watching the news and going, I can't believe this happened. Actually, 1998, the earthquakes in Turkey.
Turkey, yeah.
But in terms of, but that's I saw that on the news. But
I only saw so much information. I know that all the Turks were calling overseas and they couldn't get through. That's one thing I remember.
But that's a natural disaster. I'm talking more like a human influenced event. Do you remember anything before September 11 was as big?
For me, because we've also got to keep this in mind. Like I do have one, but it's back then. So we had Channel 7, Channel 9, whatever it was. That news program was what, 30 minutes, an hour? Say it's an hour. That was the time. That's it.
Yeah.
You're getting your news in that hour period.
Teletext.
Teletext was my teletext. When teletext comes and missing half the words and shit, so you can literally like you'll write like 9/11, bomb, America, and then tomorrow. like there's no news, like half missing. But that 1 hour was it.
Yeah.
That was your news, or you're waiting for the newspaper the next day.
Yeah.
That was it. So the one that comes to my mind, and I do briefly remember the case. It was either the Rodney King, when the police officers bashed that black guy in America for the first time, and it was all over the
I remember seeing
I think
that.
I was 5 or 4 at the time. I can't remember it, but I remember the apartment that I was in and it appearing there. Or it was it OJ?
It was the both. They were both kind of linked up.
Like it was roughly
Because
close to each
OJ,
other.
if I'm not mistaken, OJ's lawyers had momentum
That's right,
from
yeah.
Rodney King. And that's why he did kill her and he was found not guilty.
Well, Judge Inan here.
Because he killed her. He killed her, bro.
Yeah.
Why do you think he's so famous? Even, I'm sure, like, apparently he's even admitted it in his book. He wrote a book saying, I didn't do it.
Yeah, he wrote
Didn't he? I'm
he-
sure he did.
He wrote it. He always said he didn't do it. So the case was 1994, 95. So it was literally one of the first things that I can probably remember, because I remember we were in an apartment in Cabramatta, and that TV just Cabramatta. And I just remember that, but I don't remember understanding it. Like, no idea. Like, okay, great, a guy's getting bashed. It made no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah, I used to see the picture of, like, just the cop, the police guys in the circle guy. She's like, oh, you get a feel.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, cool, man. And then, so when that was happening, okay, for us to understand, it made no sense whatsoever. But regarding human, like going back to what you were saying, which is regarding a human element, I think that's it. Like, what else can possibly come up that you could, maybe Diana dying?
Diana was big. I remember
Yes.
Diana was big.
Diana was big.
Yes.
It was all over TV.
But then,
That was another thing where the Sunday or whatever it was got completely hijacked all day
her
by the
funeral.
news. Yeah, for the news. Like, I remember a family friend of ours was over, and I remember that's all everyone was talking about. The
Talking
adults
about,
were just
yeah.
talking about how good she was or how
I
bad she was. That's
remember
all they
it was
talked
like,
about.
Oh, how bad is it? Like, in Turkish, old lady, like my mum in that sense was like, oh, Yazık, like, it's sad, she passed away. She was such a nice lady. Blah,
Right, and then the
blah.
conspiracy theory started. It's like, do you know why they killed her? Because she was going to be Muslim. And it's like,
She was dating a Muslim guy.
I know
That's
she
who
was.
she was cheating with.
there was a Muslim guy, but I don't know if she was Muslim.
She was
like,
going Muslim. I'm telling you, she was
But
already
yeah.
a decent person. She only needed so much more information, and she was through the door.
But that
She
was
had
my
one-
introduction to
that's-
conspiracy.
Bro, 100% already there.
Like, how old were we? When did Diana die?
97.
97.
Obviously,
I was
like-
I didn't determine it at that time. Don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously, I watched a few programs, a few documentaries, a few YouTube videos, and that determines my final choice in what happened. 100%. Queen did it. Queen Elizabeth III did it.
Second.
Okay. The second.
See?
She did it.
YouTube.
She did it.
You got good sources, man.
I didn't remember. I just threw out a number hoping I was right, and you called my bluff.
Well, you only had like 1 billion to choose from.
Yeah, I know, right? That's why I was like, surely she's the second.
I think, I don't know, man.
She did it.
I based on everything that points towards, again, look, Diana was loved by everyone. Okay? Diana was,
Not the royal family.
when I mean by everyone, the public.
The public,
She was
yeah.
loved by the public.
Yeah.
Okay? She had that famous interview where she literally said, there's a lot of people that won't allow me to, or they wouldn't like if I was in a certain position of
Yep.
power.
Like Michael Jackson.
Why would Michael Jackson hate Diana?
No, not Diana, but like he was killed as well.
Oh, you heard it. He goes, Michael Jackson was
Yeah,
against
Akon.
Diana.
Actually, I listened to an interview by Akon, and he kind of hinted it out. He goes, "Yeah, I'm not going to go into this." He goes, "But there's certain reasons." I can't remember exactly what it was. It was like 2-3 weeks ago that I watched it, but it was very sketchy how he was going about it. He goes, "But that's a different story." He didn't want to divulge into.
There's many Michael Jackson conspiracies, man. There's so many, man. I remember watching a video of Shroud, and he was just digging into random conspiracies and shit like that. He was talking about that
Michael Jackson was killed.
that private room at Disneyland.
Nah,
Yeah,
there's no
Disneyland.
such thing.
Nah, there is. There's a place called Club. What is it? Can you Google this Disneyland private room? I think it's Club 46 or something like that. Just write Disneyland Club. It should come up, man. And apparently, like, it's a club where it's like $10,000 dinner
Yeah.
or something like that. And you can only go through a certain door, and only the elite of the elite go and have like Elton John.
Club 55.
Club 55. That's the one. And apparently, like, it's like literally the
No,
not 50.
33. Visiting Club 33 in Disneyland is located in the center of New Orleans Square.
Okay.
Yeah, Club 33. Wow, that's a great number, bro.
I don't know, but like it's just apparently like there's no proper door to it. You can only invite only and shit like that. He was looking at that. That makes me laugh. Do you guys reckon? Okay, and this is my conspiracy. All right, let me connect
Let's
one
hear
here. So Kevin Spacey, all right. So he was on House of Cards. I don't know. Did you guys ever watch House of
Yes.
Cards? Okay.
No, I didn't.
I know
But
the show.
I know
Okay.
him.
So in House of
Great,
Cards,
brilliant actor.
they were just giving you a brief rundown. So House of Cards was tackling pretty much the whole political avenue from an internal perspective. Okay, so from internal to US government, how it worked, literally the social problems that comes with it and everything like that. Now, in one of the episodes, I think this was season 4 or 3, he went to is it Bohemian Grove? Bohemian Grove?
Oh yeah,
Or
Bohemian Grove.
Is it that one? Bohemian
Yeah,
Grove?
Alex Jones.
That's
shout
the one,
out.
yeah. They did an episode based on that where the elite go there and then they dress certain grounds and stuff like that.
I saw a girl get cut in half. I can't do Alex Jones.
They were like, they did all that type of stuff and like it started hitting that type of angle of the show. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly these issues came up for Kevin Spacey because they knew that if they got rid of Kevin Spacey, House of Cards would die. Does that make sense? Because
Is that how he brought out weird videos after he got cut?
oh yeah, he's fucked.
Like, do you reckon that's got to do with?
No, I reckon he's just fucked. I reckon he actually did it and he pissed someone off. This is the way I see it, okay? They always have something on you, okay? This is my personal opinion. If you're in Hollywood or you're in politics, whoever runs you has something on you. Therefore, they keep you in line, okay? Look how old these issues are, okay? Kevin Spacey's one was what, 80s? Late 80s, early 90s? Okay, and they said, okay, we got this on him. He steps out of line. Bang.
Yeah.
You're finished.
Well, what did he get accused of again?
He was
Touching a guy's dick or something?
sexually assaulting a young guy. I think he was 16 or 15 at the time at a party. And
my God.
the videos that got released afterwards didn't help his cause because the way he was talking about it on, when he tried to get back into Frank Underwood's character and stuff
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
in the video, you could take it as a threat, like literally, like as in, like he was so weird. Like even they were watching on Joe Rogan, they're like, why the fuck would you release?
Yeah, that's
this
how I
like an
remember
idiot?
it. Yeah, yeah.
Like
Because what was the point of it?
It's that that's what everyone's saying. It's like, oh, I'm gonna clear my name and just like fucking Bill Clinton.
Even
stuff.
more conspiracy. How do you know that there's not like some blackmailing and stuff involved with making videos like that?
As in to make that video,
Yeah.
because you can see like there's just something weird. There was always something weird about him. Do you know what I mean? Like I was watching, and I reckon there's something weird about Robert Downey Jr. as well. Like there is a massive
'cause he was
social fucking problem with him.
Yeah, there is.
Currently, like, and I reckon it relates to what he obviously he
His
has
life,
passed. Yeah, his
yeah.
life. Because I was watching Letterman. You know, Letterman's releasing those new episodes on
Yeah.
Netflix and stuff like
I was
that. They're
watching
actually,
the Dave Chappelle
I
one.
love them. Like they're insane. He has this thing, and I was telling my wife about it, where he deflects everything to humor, and you can see in his face he doesn't know how to handle it. Like when we watch Avengers and etc. and all that type of stuff, you don't see this. Watch any interview with him. Watch any talk. Like go and watch the not Dave Chappelle, Letterman, Robert Downey interview. Just watch 10 minutes of it. you're gonna go, man. There's something wrong with this guy
Really?
because he's always he'll ask a question, deflect to humor, and then he'll laugh, and he'll like, and that's not him acting.
Insecurity.
I don't know what it is. It could be
'Cause he's an
drug-
actor.
He used to be a drug abuse. Like he used to be a massive
The
drug
business
abuser.
is snort the cocaine.
It's not the cocaine, man. Like you know what I mean? Like,
Cocaine, mate.
and I think that and one of our friends,
I'm sure it was that. Or
one of our friends, like he was trying to pursue like acting and stuff like that as well. And in your mind, you just, man, like, why would you want to get into this?
Dude, let me tell you something. Okay, this is my experience, and I've never been a screen actor, but I've done theatrical acting. The people you come across who do acting almost act as an escape. Okay, so a lot of these people who adopt characters, and I've done a little bit of research into this, and just people that I've met and stuff like that. Acting and becoming someone else is almost an escape for people, right? And I always say people who are theater actors are fucking weird people, right? Like, I'm a weird person. I
Hey.
originally got into it because I was a weird cunt.
yeah, I was gonna say you're calling yourself out there.
Yeah, I am, and I'll be open. I've talked about, you know, the mental issues that I've had and the psychological issues that I've
Yeah.
had, and acting was an escape for me. And when you're acting
Right, it
backstage, there's a lot. You've been around me when you know
Yeah.
before we put on. There's a lot of mingling that happens before you go out on a show, bro. You get deep with people. You're sitting backstage. You've got like a packet of chips, and you're talking about, you know, your life and stuff like that. And I've connected with so many people on different levels. If my small experience of acting was that these people had, you know, greater issues, and, you know, acting became an escape from break, imagine what Hollywood's like. Because if you think about it, if this is why people got into it, it was an escape, and then they just became successful, and then they got big. These big people have all got stuff wrong with them. And that's not just from acting. Everyone has something wrong with them. But acting seems to, you know, attract more people with those backgrounds.
And then you got those losers who can't act and want to pursue acting, and then they just
And then they end up on Turkish series.
Billions and billions. No, I agree, man, because one of the best things to relate it to, and if you guys want to watch it as well, it's absolutely insane. Jim Carrey and Andy Kaufman. Jim Carrey, I haven't fully finished it yet, but he literally learned how to be Andy Kaufman. Okay, this guy was a genius at his time, and he passed away. And if you watch Jim Carrey, it comes to the point where it's like he suddenly, like, he starts to believe that because of the way he's acting, that he is this guy.
Yeah, it happens.
Like, that's how much in depth in character he is.
It happens.
You know what I mean? Like, and that surely, like, socially, that will destroy your mind, man.
Oh, definitely, bro. How long does it take to make a movie? 2 years, 3 years?
Say
you know,
a
like
year, say
a
a
year. A year. That's a year that every day you have to become this other person. And bro, look, I'll talk from my small experience. I've played guys who are like super aggressive, and then I'll be at points in my life being like, I've never hit anyone or anything like that, but you'll be like, my character would have responded this way, or like, you know, I would do this if I was that character. Because you don't just adopt an accent, you don't just adopt a way of walking, bro. You literally become the person that you're acting. So, if you're playing messed up people, let's give an example. If you're playing some like psychotic killer, blah blah.
I'll give you the best one here. Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger,
Joker,
bro,
yeah.
it's going to affect you. You literally become that person in the time that you are on stage and off stage. Bro, you know how crazy it is? You'll be off stage and you'll be having dinner with people that you're acting with. Bro, we're all in the accent. We're all behaving the way that the actor would. Bro, it just becomes a part of you. And to take on someone as messed up as the Joker as a character, bro, that would really screw me.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Like, especially like when they talked about I remember when he first died, it was January 2018, I think it was. And like it was coming out and stuff like that, all the details and how he used to write in his book about what would make the Joker laugh, what type of thought process he
Because
would
the
have.
new Joker film, like had that spin on it, on the mental aspect.
Yeah, 100%.
With the
Joaquin
Phoenix, yeah.
That guy's an insane actor.
Bro,
as well.
that was
an
crazy.
insane film. Like, you know how you see a film where you're like, geez, that was a good film. We don't usually say that often these days, do we?
Do you watch really shit films, bro? Nah.
Yeah, but
I don't know, maybe like
I
because
was watching SpongeBob. Insane movie.
But like in terms of the whole story, the way they portray the character, how they shot the movie, it was just a perfect, like it was like almost a 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 film. That's the one I'm trying to get at. Whereas some
Subjective.
movies are just Like, you know, for instance, you go watch a Marvel film, you kind of have an idea as to how the story's going.
Don't you
It's-
fucking
it's
dare.
like cheap
You know?
thrill.
Mock
Yeah, it's
the
a cheap
arm.
thrill.
Don't
It's
mock
such a cheap
the
thrill.
fucking arm,
Because
Marvel.
it's such a cheap thrill, but because I went and watched all of them, even though I knew they were gonna die, because Facebook ruined it for me. I still went and watched it.
So you just ruined it to the millions of subscribers we have now.
Billions and billions. Nah, look, look, when it comes to movies, all right, and this is what pisses me off about certain people, and a lot of people that we fucking know too, all right? When there's certain movies you go to watch, there's a certain expectation to have,
Yeah.
okay? When I go to watch Fast and the Furious, okay, I don't expect a fucking Oscar storyline. I don't expect it to be real either, okay? All I want is to turn my brain off and put my popcorn in my hand and go, just give me thrills. Okay, you're gonna drive on the M4 and you're gonna end up in space? Hectic. I don't care, blow my mind about it. Do you know what I mean? But don't come to me and say, it was unreal. You know what these movies are. How many is there? 8, 9, whatever it is, 48? You know what to expect. Yes, I get the first one was hectic and there was drag racing. It was all about the cars. Number 2 was a shit movie, but you had that R34 Skyline.
Bro, number 2 is my favorite.
Number 2 is the shit.
My
Go back
number
now.
2
Go
is
back
my
now,
favorite.
watch
No,
it.
it's still my favorite.
Go back now.
Even the
storyline is
I think
horrible.
what do they call it? The epilogue? There's a little short film before the movie starts.
Yeah.
Of him getting his prelude, crushing that, and then he gets the Skyline and he does it up. Bro, just the whole modification of the car. That's what the whole Fast and Furious thing was
That's what it was, yeah.
until they
That's what it was,
started
yeah.
buying
It
bloody
became a heist,
Lambos.
and it became heist movies. But see, coming back to what you're saying about the cheap thrills, call me what you like. I don't watch movies like that.
Oh,
That's fair enough.
Cheap thrills.
I don't like, and a lot of people will be like, "Have you watched so and so movie?" I'm like, "No, dog, what's wrong with you?" I'm like, "Bro, I'm just not into those movies." Like, I want to be wowed every time I come out of a movie, you know. And I agree with, you know, like my wife didn't want to watch Joker. She has no interest in, you know, like comic books and like superheroes and stuff like
Right.
that. So I was like, come, apparently it's really, really good. And when we watched it, she's like, that was actually amazing. Like to understand the
women are
psychology
boring.
behind it and stuff like that. Nah, bro, my missus has a really good taste in movies.
No.
Like,
Does
she'll...
she watch SpongeBob?
No. But like, in all fairness, she watches really good movies. Like movies that I generally find like really, really good. She'll be like, that was amazing. The only thing is she didn't like Reservoir Dogs, which I'll forever hold you up for it. But
Shit movie.
like,
It's
I'm joking,
understandable.
if I know a movie, like I haven't watched Fast and Furious since Fast 4, Fast 5 or whatever. I've never even seen the one where Thing
Are
dies
they
in
going to
it.
watch Fast 12?
I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah,
12?
It's coming out.
Nah.
No, I'm joking.
Bro-
Isn't it after 12 now?
I've never watched that.
Bro, like,
I've never watched like Transporter. Everyone says good. I watched the first one. It was way too unrealistic for me. I wouldn't even bother watching number 2. That's just who I am. I want to be wowed by movies. I don't watch movies that I know are openly crap. Where you like that, where you can just shut down and be
I
like,
have to.
Yeah.
Because this comes to a certain point where it's like, okay, look, for me, I can watch Reservoir Dogs, insane movie. Pulp Fiction, insane movie.
Oh, Pulp
but
Fiction.
then I'm
Pulp
going
Fiction.
into what was the movie? Requiem for a Dream. That movie is so heavily fucking your head that I can't. I need to escape. Does that make sense? So then I'll go watch Transformers. I'll go watch Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Because
Like,
you
do
know
what I mean?
what's a perfect example of a movie capturing imagination so well, like the unrealistic thing, but you forgive
almost believable.
you forgive the unrealistic aspect for the movie and how well it was played out in terms of the story and how it was shot and whatnot. Doctor Strange. Surely you guys can agree with Doctor Strange. Have you watched
I
that?
love Marvel movies, bro.
I've never watched it.
But Doctor Strange, in terms of that, would be one of the best movies in terms of explaining one of the characters. Like that whole movie.
Iron Man is number 1. Explaining the character.
Iron
of
Man
how
could
he
have been
went
better. Could have been better. Doctor
From,
Strange
how
is better.
dare you?
The whole movie was hectic. Whole movie.
No,
The
I love
whole,
Doctor Strange. I love
like,
Doctor Strange.
The transition of the character from, you know, this hectic doctor or surgeon, whatever he was, up to now he's just a wizard. It's pretty much.
You're a wizard,
Guys,
Harry.
did I not summarize that well?
No,
That's pretty much what happens.
on,
He has a car crash, bang, wizard.
Fucking ends
You're
up
a
in
wizard,
Hogwarts.
Harry.
Ends up in Hogwarts.
the way you say it, like, it means like, what the fuck? Like,
Did he crash into platform 3 3/4 or whatever it is? Like,
No,
Platform
this is
is
better
9
wizard.
3/4.
No,
I don't know
bro,
what it is.
I fucking hate Harry. I don't know how Harry Potter has a fan would it base
Because-
Wow, you're really hurting Farty
Cuz,
today.
I read
No,
that
I'm
book,
not-
cuz.
I'm not-
I read that book. I read it because I
You
wanted
read the
to-
book
I read
or
the
books?
I read the book like the sheep I was back in the days because it was all over the news. J.K. Rowling, the ganger that she is, producing that book. I pissed my mum off. Mind you, I pressured her to buy that book, and so we did.
Where is this going?
No, I'm going to explain how stupid this story is. How stupid the people... Anyways, please don't get me started. Because I know a lot of people that
Well,
like...
setting our fan bases now. Nah, look,
No,
Harry Potter.
Harry
okay,
Potter
I'll give
is
you, I'll
stupid.
give you my view. And I know we have a few friends that are Harry Potter nerds, including my wife. Okay, Harry Potter 1 and 2. Okay, have you watched the movies?
Yes.
1 and 2, or all of them?
Hate them.
Have you watched 1 and 2, or
Disgust-
all of them? You're not answering my question.
It's right here and there.
Ahmed, answer it.
No, here and there. I've been I've watched here and there. It's like I got over it, so I
So you
turned
haven't
it off.
watched the full movie?
No.
Okay.
Oh, I've watched number 1.
Okay, beautiful. You made
Okay,
my answer.
okay.
All right. So number 1 and number 2, if you watched it now, you look at that and go, this is absolutely horrible because it's made literally for 8 to 10 year olds. It's literally made for that. Yeah,
'Cause
hello, Hagrid.
I have a 31-year-old friend who's actually went out and bought merchandise.
My wife bought wands. I was forced to buy sticks, wood carved into wands when we went to Harry Potter in London. Or the land or whatever it's called. Okay? It's literally sticks. Okay? Now, but me, okay, I have this thing where if I start a series, I have to finish it. Okay? So whether it's Harry Potter 1, even Lord of the Rings. I'm not a fan of Lord of the
I
Rings.
love Lord of the
but
Rings.
but I watched
Suck.
it.
Oh my god.
Okay, but I watched it. But going back to Harry Potter.
Ew.
Number 3 is insane. Why? Because the characters got old and
Emma Watson got hotter.
and Emma Watson became hot. No,
She had
it
a
went-
butt.
They could afford to make it look darker now. Do you know what I mean? Because they're not targeting kids. Those kids are now older. That's why I loved it.
And kids stopped growing after that.
And kids stopped growing after that. Do you know what I mean? Like once, because I remember watching when I was 13 or 12 or 13, 14. The movie got dark. Like people are dying and shit. I'm like, what just happened to this series?
Bro,
never
look, I'm
been
going
a
to take it
magic
away a
bloke,
little
though.
bit more. Bro, think of J.K. Rowling. Not only did she make a storyline, because she's created a whole world.
She created a universe.
Bro, it's like, bro, the amount of lore in that, you know, like, people are like, bro, I see people that are like, I belong to Gryffindor. And it's like, bro, how did you come up with that? Because
Flops.
Gryffindor like this and blah, blah. Like,
Flops.
it's a whole world. And the same thing with Lord of the Rings. Bro, I read Lord of the Rings way before the
Each to
movies
their own,
came
bro.
out.
You're missing out on the one of the best ones. Fuck all those ones. Star
It's like,
Wars.
yuck. I fucking
Star
hate Star
Wars.
Wars. Gay. So gay.
Star Wars. Star Wars 4. Well, now 4, 5, and 6 is insane. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1,
All
2,
of them.
3.
All of them are the
7,
best.
8, 9 is fucking.
Bro, if we
horrible.
put in comparison Harry Potter and Star Wars would piss on that.
Nah.
Piss on that.
Nah.
Piss on that.
I think individually 4, 5, and 6 is better than the whole Harry Potter series. Yes.
Peeing.
But if you said the Star Wars series 1 to 9 versus Harry Potter 1 to 8, I think it is, Harry Potter wins any day, all day. Because why? Because Harry Potter, they were consistent. Do you know what I mean? It went to good. While Star Wars, they had to go back.
Harry
to figure
Potter
out.
lost me at the idiot.
You watched one.
The
you
hero.
watched one
The hero
movie.
is a kid.
You watched.
I'm not
one
gonna watch a movie and support a kid.
One movie.
That's not my
yeah.
hero.
Bro, Star Wars, the hero is a kid.
He starts off as a kid.
Yeah.
That's where they lost me too.
Bro, Star Wars is the gayest fucking thing. Look, I've tried to watch it so many
Nah,
times,
I
and
love
people
it
are gonna
so
hate me.
much.
Bro,
I'm such a Star Wars geek. Oh my god.
You
Nah,
just didn't
can't
know
stand
that
it.
the youngest guy. He started off as a kid.
my name is Luke Skywalker. I'm a
Not
paladin
really.
who puts lightsabers
Well, the
in my
story
bum.
actually starts off
Anakin.
him being
Whatever his
just
name
over
is.
teenage years, and then he fends on. It's a oh,
I just love that meme
Because
at the end.
he wanks over a guy that has green skin and fucking looks like he's 155 years old. Like, I
But see-
am
but-
Yoda.
But see what I mean? Like
It's catered for different
yeah,
tastes.
of course. That's where I was going back to.
it is catered for different tastes.
But that's what I mean by I just don't find a kid being a hero. Like,
Bro, and you want to...
it's not real to me. It's
Why?
stupid. But if a kid came up to me with a stick and tried to do magic, I'll crack him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Adivadiosa.
Okay.
Sick.
How was Ray with her lightsaber?
Cuz you do these ones.
How was Ray with
You
her
do.
lightsaber?
like this.
How was Ray
He dies.
with her lightsaber?
Who's Ray? The girl. I know.
Oh,
Shut up.
Yeah, that's
Sucked
right. The young girl
That's where they lost
who
me.
was a
You
hero.
know what? Honestly, being the, I don't know whether you want to call me a misogynist or a
Sexist is
or a
the key word, I
sexist
think,
guy.
isn't
They
it?
lost me when the hero of the film was a girl.
Okay, so what about Tomb Raider?
Straight out. Tomb Raider never liked her.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, straight out.
Tomb
never
Raider was
liked her.
hectic.
No,
Especially number one.
I
on
played the
PlayStation.
game. I
Bro.
played the game on computer because I was fortunate enough to get the game. But I was like, inside, I was like
Nah, Angelina Jolie. You done very well.
annoyed. Like this could have been a guy.
Oh yeah, that's
Mu-
called
a
y-
muscled
the
guy.
ir- The irony
a muscled
is,
guy with the belt of bullets around his chest
It's
and,
called
and a
Rambo.
massive
No.
machine gun.
Nah, yeah,
exactly.
it's called
That's
Rambo.
a hero in my eye. That's who I want saving me.
Nah, I like Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones can save you.
But Indiana Jones was a bit too late for too early for me.
Oh, I like Indiana.
Yeah, because
Jones.
Star Wars was during your time, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't have like
Get
things
you-
like
oh.
that. But at the same time, look, bro, all of those things. Even though I don't like Star Wars, I still have respect. To once again, they've built a universe around it. There's a whole lore. There's a whole story. Like, bro,
Star
it's
Wars is
massive.
better. All right, you know
And
what? I'm gonna Google
The
it.
same thing, because
Let's
I don't
go.
understand how you don't like Lord of the Rings. It's like 3 hours of fighting. That's all
No,
it
no,
is.
but
Like,
I've never liked that whole elves, dragons. You know, oh, let me throw my little arch. Like, you know, you got that little hobbits fighting these armies and. A guy wears a ring. I never understood I watched the movie and I never understood what the whole purpose of the ring was. Why were they so attracted to it? What was the power?
because it's
like-
precious.
You know what I mean? Like why? Like when at the first scene they show him wears the ring and he kills everyone, the one king, because his army was losing. Is it just that he makes him invisible
I'm not.
or
a fan
gives
of
him
the movie.
unlimited power? You
I'm
know
not-
what I mean?
I'm not
Yeah,
spoiling. I'm not
Watch
spoiling.
comments.
Dude, it's
Hey,
an old movie.
Hey
you can spoil.
douchebag, you should have watched the movie properly.
Nah, look, I've never been a fan of Lord of the Rings, but I did finish it. I do agree that the action was.
It's too
insane.
fantasy for me. I don't like too much
I
fantasy.
can't.
you
I
don't
can't
like
complain
But then
about
again,
fantasy,
Star
'cause I
Wars
love-
is fantasy
Yeah, I
too.
know, right?
I love fantasy, bro.
But fantasy that makes sense.
I like the I like the whole idea of like orcs always being represented as like, you know, like bad and like.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and when I played like Skyrim or like Elder Scrolls, I always played as an orc. I was like, fuck you, cunts. I like how they look.
All right. Here's a question for you guys then. Your best trilogy.
Oh, that's so open.
No, then be based on movies. It's not based on the character. It's not based on your love for it. It's based on the actual movie and the quality that it gave to you. Do you know what I mean? Like your best trilogy that could possibly be the best trilogy. Like for me, Matrix.
Matrix is up there.
Matrix. I was going the opposite. Is definitely down
Nah, I
because
love
I think 2 and 3 sucks.
What's the question
Only
here?
because-
A trilogy.
Best trilogy.
Why do you think 2 and 3 suck?
Because of the direction that the movie went.
Kaz, are we
Yeah.
talking about fantasy movies or just
Best
all
trilogy
movies?
in general. Okay.
Godfather, bro. No doubt.
No, number 3 sucked.
It was
no-
decent enough to keep
Nah.
the trilogy.
With Matrix, one set the benchmark so high regarding the storyline, the acting, the whole agenda like behind of what it actually was. And in 2 and 3, it's like they just shelved everything about the core elements of 1, and they just decided to go, hey, we're an action movie now.
Yeah, but then again, it addressed the whole thing of like almost you can't beat the Matrix. It's been done a million times. Look how many Neos there were. It's been done and restarted, and it just continued on.
I agree with that aspect. I'm talking about 1, the acting sort of dropped for me. 2, the CGI was horrible. I get for that time, but what did I see? I remember they were talking about the mistakes from a mistake level about those movies.
Mhm.
They said that in Matrix 1, there was like only 7 mistakes in the whole movie,
Mhm.
which is insane. Like for a movie that in
Which
depth.
movie was this?
Matrix.
And then they said Matrix Reloaded, was it? They go,
Mhm.
there's 200 and something mistakes, or
Okay.
100 and something. And I'm like, it makes sense. Like, the CGI was horrible. The movement, like just the way that number 2 progressed was horrible. I did enjoy the fight. The fight in number 3 is, I loved it.
Yeah.
Okay,
When he has the
Darth Vader.
pole.
Darth Vader,
When he
yeah.
has the pole.
I am I forgot what it was.
No, I am your father.
I
That's the
How the
scene.
fuck did that come into a
don't know.
Matrix
We're talking
conversation?
Matrix.
No, because that's the scene. He goes, they're fighting, then they stop, and then he's like, he says something, and you killed my father, and he's like, no, I am your father, because everyone gets the there was a meme I read, and it was like everyone gets the line mixed up. They say, Luke, I am your father, whereas no, it's actually no, I am your father.
Yeah, I know.
Interesting little fact.
The what's it called? The Mandela
Stops.
effect. That's what it's actually
Yeah.
called, where you actually
Yeah.
believe something is something.
Mm.
So I remember watching a video, and this actually, I went, bullshit. E.T. What's the line for E.T.?
E.T. phone home.
Phone home.
Found
No,
home.
he doesn't say that.
What does he say?
It's E.T. home phone. But because we're
Fuck
so
off.
yeah, that's it.
No, it
Becau-
isn't.
Google it. It's because we are so used to E.T. phone home. He doesn't say that. It says E.T. home phone. And I'm like, what the fuck? I go, what have we been saying? Even that's why when in that clip, even Inan's thing when he was saying about Darth Vader, everyone gets it wrong. It's not Luke. It's not Luke. I am your father. He says something else.
Oh,
there.
it really is.
See?
Jesus. The movie in the ET never says ET phone home. It's always been ET home phone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like it blew our minds, man. You know what movie I loved and then said like sticking on the
Trilogy.
topic of movies. Trilogy.
We didn't answer that. Let's our top trilogies.
All right, you know what? I'll give you guys. I'll just name trilogies off the top of my head, and I'll name you why they're not on my list, if that makes sense. So, Godfather for me, 1 and 2 is probably the easy top 3 greatest movies of all time. But number 3 just
It's horrible.
It's,
I agree.
It's,
Nah,
too, it's,
it-
too,
it-
it's,
it-
ho- it's
it just
horrible
does
enough
enough.
to not make
No,
my
it just does enough.
best. All right.
Like I think Andy Garcia just edges it out to. For
Nah.
me.
He,
Yeah.
he sucked in that.
Nah,
role.
he was mad. I loved his character. Such a hectic character.
For me, Godfather doesn't make it. If you said best 2, yeah, easy, number 1. Back to the Future, number 3 sucked.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
That was horrible.
Really?
Look,
Which one was Back to the Future 3? Which
3
one
was the one where they went to the West, back in
Oh,
time.
I like that. That's the one. Oh.
That's horrible,
Nah,
man.
bro, I love
it
that
made
shit.
no sense to the trilogy whatsoever.
No.
They just added it in for money, like literally for money. And then what else? Lord of the Rings is good. I don't enjoy it. I'll definitely admit it's good movies. Okay, but it wouldn't be my best. What else trilogies? Matrix? Nah, fuck that. Who else is there?
Dark Knight. That's a trilogy.
Ooh. Dark. See,
The ending was a shit one too.
for me, Dark Knight Rises is not that great.
Yeah,
It's
terrible.
not that good. I still remember this, and I love
Disappointment.
watching people hype when they watch the movie for the first time, and all of our mates, Bane, fucking Bane's hectic, Bane this, and it's like, just let your thing die out, enjoy it for a second, and then it'll die away. But Batman Begins was very good, and
Bro,
then yeah, it was
such a mad movie.
yeah,
that was probably the start of
nah.
the hero films. Yeah, or for me personally.
I agree from the sense of when I think Dark Knight put it on the map where it said, hey, these movies have potential. We
Yeah.
have potential to win Oscars. We have potential to do certain things here in these movies. And I think that's when I went, oh, okay, because keep in mind, Dark Knight came out in 2008, while Iron Man came out in 2007.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
watched them both
Yeah.
in Turkey when
But
I was there.
Yeah, and Batman Begins
4
was
times
2005.
each movie.
4 times.
4 times
I'll-
in the movies.
I watched Dark Knight 4 times in gold class. I
Iron Man
remember that.
2. Iron Man. Like, I think I gave Iron Man a shit go before.
But I love it.
But I've always liked the character Iron Man. Like, if I was to pick one of those Marvel characters, it'd definitely be Iron Man.
Marvel, yeah, Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Hulk, Thor.
Nah, Hulk is too much. You know, when I think of Hulk, it's too draining. Like, just smash everything.
Well, it defeats the purpose of Hulk smash.
Yeah, but I'd rather be
Trilogy-wise.
What about Terminator?
4. I was
Terminator,
watching
nah.
Terminator earlier
Terminator
today.
3 sucks.
It does suck.
Terminator 3 is horrible.
1 and 2 are really good, but
1 and 2,
Oh,
one of the greatest
bro.
movies of all
Bro,
time.
I was watching
Easy.
that one. You know how he gets up? Anyways, I was walking. This was a bit of a husband and wife moment. I was working in a warehouse this week. Stinking hot. Anyway, no, this relates to a scene of Terminator. You know how when they come back from the future in the start, it was like before he goes into the pub where he gets the guys, he's like, give me your car, your boots, and your
Oh, he
bicycle.
goes into the bar, yeah.
Anyways, I'm like, bro, like I sweated so much, I drank water, so it was pretty much like, you know how fighters cut for weight? I had my abs again, and it was like hectic. So I was checking myself in the mirror, and I'm like, bro, I kept the fluids up, but I was admiring myself, like it was a personal love moment. Anyways, I'll go to the missus. I'm like, babe, I look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. But I'm like, I don't know whether it was my own imagination or it was just my self-confidence. It was like, I feel like I'm the Terminator when he comes back from time and he goes ask people for their clothes and their bike, So then I was like, I'm walking around shirtless in the house and I open the that scene and she's like, she hasn't watched it. So she's like, what is this guy on about? I'm like, don't you see the difference, babe? Say Arnold Schwarzenegger.
She sees a difference. Yeah. I don't know if it looks the same.
That's what's so funny because I
No,
was
she's like Mr. Olympia in a. I don't know.
We're having a Khabib moment here.
no, I wasn't saying that I look exactly like him, but I felt like it. Do you know
Why?
what I
Because
mean?
you both had arms and a chest?
No, but like the muscles were a bit defined because of the water weight that I shed. So I was like a little jacked.
You know what? If you said to me maybe Hugh Jackman and Wolverine, I would have been like,
No, but see,
fair enough.
he looks muscly, cuz I just look like I don't know. I was going to the shower. That's why this moment came along. So I was like, like I'm impressed with myself.
I would love to be a
'Cause I-
fly on Inan's
But because
wall.
you got to understand, I don't train. I don't go to no gym. I'm not very active. So I was very active that this whole week. So it feels good. Like, I don't know. I feel good. The energy's there. Because I haven't felt like this in a very, very long time.
How
so
heavy are the boxes you're lifting?
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the company's shit stuff that they don't want to deal with. You know what I mean? So,
Alright,
but
so
anyways, that was
What
my
do
little
you
moment.
think of the Bourne trilogy
Bourne trilogy.
I love
Good, not good enough to be like
Oh,
number one.
up there?
Oh,
Yeah.
1 and 2 were really good. I don't remember number 3, to be honest.
And number 3 was Ultimatum.
That was the
And-
one where his missus died, yeah?
No, Mrs. Died number 2 in
Two.
Bourne Supremacy.
Your
and then
clan? No. Oh,
number 2 was
yes.
Supremacy because they tried to
That was
run
such
away
a sad moment.
and then they got jacked on that bridge.
Kaz, let me ask you guys a question on movies. What's a movie you've cried in?
Cried in not one movie. Not one movie.
Bro, no, I've
But
come
I've come
close,
close
but I
twice.
can't remember.
I've cried. Come close twice.
I can't remember what movies, but there was 2 movies that came close for me. I can't remember what it was though.
I can, but they're international movies. They're not English. I don't know why Turkish movies have that pull on me. So there's a movie called Babam ve Oğlum. So it's about a guy who
Dad
takes
and
his
son.
Yeah, dad and son. My dad and son. So he takes his son to meet his dad. Bro, I fucking cried like a little bitch on that. The Miracle in Cell Number 5.
Yeah.
I cried like a little bitch in that.
No.
Bro, I generally cry. I cried my ass off in Marley and Me. Bro, that dog.
Bro,
when it
everyone
was going,
says that.
Bro, I was crying so hard.
Nah.
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 And as bad as this sounds, and I have 2 cats, animals dying in movies do not get to me whatsoever.
That's because you have
Yeah.
cats and no one cares about them.
But that's what I mean. Like, even if they shot the cat, I'll just be like, okay, let's move on. What's the next scene? Like, animals dying do not get to me.
Yeah.
But for me, there's 2. I came close, but these 2 were it. Okay, so number 1 was Pursuit of Happiness. So the Will Smith movie when he was the only part that got me was when because it's based on a true story. I'm thinking of it based on that guy's life when he was in the train station bathroom because they had nowhere to sleep, and his son was sleeping on his thing, and some guy was trying to come into the bathroom, and he was just holding his thing crying. And I'm like, you know what? I go, if someone genuinely fell into that spot, I go, that's bad. Like, imagine like your only place to sleep
Life's
is
tough.
that. Life is tough.
Life's
but
tough.
that movie, when was this? 2005. So I was probably like 15 or 16 or 14, whatever it's time. Second one, and this got to me as well. And this one's like, I had to think outside the box here. Interstellar. So
Yeah.
the Christopher
Space
Nolan movie,
movie.
the space movie,
Yeah.
where Matthew McConaughey's character. So they went on the planet and they lost time. Okay, so they lost. Have you guys watched them?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They lost time on the planet and they had to come back. What got to me was when he had to catch up on his life based on videos that was sent back to him. And it got me because it was like, man, within the space of like for people on Earth, it was like 30 something years, but for him, it was like 20 minutes worth of videos. And he had to see that his kid grown up, his kid had a child, his kid got married, his dad died, and his daughter grown up all within 20 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm like, fuck, I go, that's slack. I go, imagine trying to inherit all that much information
Should
at
have went
once.
to space.
Hey, he was trying to save humanity. All right, he was doing it for the people. But I was like, man, that really got to me. Those ones.
One Hollywood movie. Was it Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams when he's that robot that
Comes to life and
Yeah,
tries to
yeah,
take
yeah,
it all. Oh
and
my
like
God.
everyone he loves ends up dying. Like that little girl grows up and she dies, and he pretty much has nothing left. Like he just becomes attached to things that are dying. So that sort of like got me a little bit. But I don't know if I cried or not. Look, I'm a crier. I'll cry in movies. My missus will try and hold it back. I'm like, why are you hiding? If this is what I'm feeling, then I'm gonna do it. I just can't think of movies at the moment that have made me cry.
Yeah,
but they're the
same.
more recent ones.
No, I don't think I've ever cried. I've come close.
What about powerful moments in a movie where you went, shit? Like for me, there's one, and I always refer to this every time I watch this movie. Okay, Godfather 2. when Kay comes up to Michael Corleone and after his court case and he just won it, and she's leaving him,
Oh yeah.
and she tells him about how she
Aborted
aborted his child, and he finds out for the first time, and his face, just the way it changes, like how he went from trying to figure out his marriage to figuring out how to get rid of her from a family perspective, like in the blink of an eye, and just how powerful that moment was, man. Like it's just insane.
For me, Fight Club, the first time I watched it and I realized that Tyler Durden was him, was like, what the fuck? Like, or like, you know, Shutter Island? When he gets into the lighthouse and he starts saying like, we've done this before, but and it's like, what the fuck is going on? I like those movies that take you all the way to the end and then you realize. Have you guys watched Fractured?
Nah.
Is that Bruce Willis?
No, it's that Australian guy who's in Avatar. What's his name?
Sam Worthington.
Sam Worthington. His daughter,
Sam
he drops her off at the hospital, and then you don't know what the fuck's going on if he actually dropped her off there, and then you get to the end and you find out what's going on. Like, I love those movies where the whole time we're like, my missus and I were watching Fractured, and we're like, nah, surely this happened. Nah, surely the hospital's fucking up with it. Bro, watch it. It's on Netflix. I think it's a really, really good movie. But it's those moments that you realize, especially the Tyler Durden moment, you start to put, you know, two and two together, and you're like, fuck, he's been bashing himself the whole fucking movie. Like,
I know. And like when you just think about it, you're just like, man, like, how did you miss that?
yeah.
Do you know what I
Or
mean?
like, how fucking messed up did it become? Like, that you got to that level. Like, you know how he has sex with that girl?
Yeah.
And then he walks out and he's like, oh, were you fucking him again? And she's just like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on?
When she goes, who are you talking to?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, everything just goes, whoa, what the fuck?
I think, and look, again, this might be an outrageous claim, but I think Brad Pitt's 90s movies is a hard... It's
bro.
like he's... That,
He did 7.
he did 7.
Seven
7
was
for
wow.
me was... What's in the box? You know what I mean? When he started doing that, when I watched that for the first time, I'm like I'm watching, like, I was naive at that time. Like, I never really thought about movies that much. And I remember I was like 15, 16 watching the movie, and I was like sitting there, and I'm like, what is in the box, man? Tell me. You know what I mean? But now I watch it, I'm like, holy shit, like, how it all led up, how he, like, even Kevin, like, I love Kevin Spacey as an actor. I probably don't like him as a person, but it's his movies, like, if I had to put another person of how amazing his movies are, that guy would definitely be up there, because he's part of 7, Kevin Spacey I'm talking about. He did American Beauty. American Beauty is an insane movie.
Yeah.
What's that? The Usual Suspects. That is one of the best twist endings ever in history, in my opinion. Have you seen that?
Without a doubt.
No.
You've never seen Usual
Kaiser
Suspects?
sauce.
Watch
What
it.
was it? Kaiser.
Don't wreck it for you. Watch Usual Suspects, man. It is an
I maybe
insane-
have seen it. It sounds really familiar, but let me look it up.
Kaiser sauce.
Kaiser Sosa.
Sosa, huh?
Sosa from my friend you fucked.
All right. What about a movie that genuinely made you uncomfortable? Me?
A Clockwork Orange.
Why?
Easy.
I've never seen it.
It's one of the worst. When I mean uncomfortable, I reckon The Clockwork Orange is one of the greatest movies you'll ever watch. But it's also one of the movies that has taken... I think watching that movie has put my mind where nothing ever will ever shock me again in this movie. Because it is that... It affects you mentally and from a trauma perspective, because this movie has everything. From a sense of rape, from a sense of young... like... mentalness does not assist, like, how can I say it? Like, I'm lost for words when I speak about Clockwork Orange. Like, the way that it mentally fucks you up, you go, holy shit, I like, nothing will shock me again. I mentioned this to Imran to watch it, and he was the same. He's like, man, like, I don't think anything will get to me again. Like, it's
I will definitely
watch it. It's got I forgot his name, but you'll definitely know his face as soon as you see him. He's old now, but he's in, like, every time he appears in a movie, you're like, oh yeah, I know this guy, because he just randomly
Yeah,
appears.
I'm looking at his photos.
What's his
now.
name?
Like,
He was in
trying to find one sec.
just kidding me, but
Malcolm O'Donnell.
Malcolm O'Donnell.
McDowell.
McDowell, okay. when you watch that movie, okay, you can't watch this with anyone. Like, if certain people feel uncomfortable very easily, this is not a movie for them.
Which one's this? Clockwork
A
Orange?
Clockwork Orange.
I'm gonna look this up.
Watch the movie and watch the movie and then come back to me, because I know you two probably, like, you guys have a strong heart to watch certain things where it's like, man,
I'm gonna watch this,
watch it,
and I'm gonna come back next week.
God, it was nothing. I watched it with my kids.
My son was enjoying it.
Yeah, because sometimes I watch some intense scenes. Like, I can't remember. There was this scene where I think someone was getting raped or something, and then I realized my son was just sitting there watching, going. He just looked at me and was like, what the
You need to make
Like,
better
what do you want?
choices, bro. What the fuck?
No, I didn't realize because
Do we need to call child services?
No, it was actually no. You know what it was? That what's that women's jail movie?
Orange is the New Black.
Yes, and then my wife was like, "What the hell is this?" I didn't know. I thought it was just like those innocent women's rom-coms.
Nah, it's like a lesbian
Bro, it's
porno.
full lesbian porno. Oh my god!
It's a lesbian jail. What do you expect?
I did
Pretty
not
much.
know, bro.
Yeah.
I just saw.
But one scene in particular that makes me uncomfortable, butterfly effect. You know when they're in the garage with the dad who's trying to film?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that fucking made me so fucking uncomfortable. Like, it actually made me fucking angry. Like, I was happy when he went back, and then he told him to fuck off.
Yeah, fair enough.
Hey,
That's what I mean by,
fuck
like,
bag. Doesn't
I-
he call him fuck bag?
Yeah, he calls him a fuck bag. Yeah.
I'm telling you now. For me, after watching Clockwork,
I want to watch that.
I can't watch movies and be like, oh, that affected me anymore. I
Yeah.
really can't, because this movie is just like that and a Requiem for a Dream. Watch that.
Okay.
It's based on, so Requiem for a Dream is more, it's like a journey of a certain, like, the easiest way to explain it, it's based on a couple of people and their experiences with drugs, and how, like, the way they make drugs look for actual addicts is like, holy shit, man. Like, it is
You know
bad.
what's a good movie actually? Train Spotting.
Trainspotting,
In terms of infecting it, it's about the heroin addict.
I think I might
Ewan,
have seen
Ewan
that.
McGregor,
Yes.
where this girl is such an addict. One of the scenes I'll describe to you guys. I don't know if you've watched it. Have you?
No, I haven't seen
I
it.
think I have.
They're that much of a degenerate that these people are addicted to heroin and they're shooting up together. There was a lady amongst these men, and she has a daughter, or she had a baby, and the baby actually died. And because she was out cold from the drugs, she was pretty high. She just went. They wake up to the baby like blue, just dead, like it had suffocated somehow, and it showed how powerful the drug was, in the sense where even though there was this baby die, she was in pain, but then she was like, my body is yearning for heroin. So the guy just goes to start going. He goes, all right, fuck, who cares? I'm just gonna start shooting up some more heroin. And then the girl stops, and then she starts doing it again.
All right.
If you want to talk about an uncomfortable movie, that's an uncomfortable movie.
Trainspotting.
Yeah, bro.
I'll watch it.
It's an experience for me. Insightful.
I will watch it definitely, because, man, I feel like I've watched it, but I could be getting mixed up with another movie that probably of his that's marked that starts with Train. That's why, because I remember Ewan McGregor's part of another. Is it Four Guys?
Yes.
Yes, I think.
In like Ireland or Scotland or something.
Yes. Oh, fuck. I'm pretty sure I watched it. And number 2 just came out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one too came out recently.
But I would have to rewatch it, because that scene does not like, I feel like I've just watched it in the background or something like that.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, man.
That's another.
So
good
your
film.
trilogies?
I can't come to one, man. I can't come to one when I said there's been 3 movies
They were all amazing.
that were just all amazing. Like, it's so hard to put on it.
It's good when number 2 outdoes number 1, which is, like, wow. It doesn't
It's
happen
rare.
very often. Yeah, that's right. So I think when I watched John Wick, I know it's like a cheap thrills. Like number 2, I was like, whoa, this is just as good as number 1. So it was like, it was good in a way. And there's a couple of movies like that, and then the third one they usually like fuck it up.
They fade
John
out.
Wick 3 is hectic.
Yeah, John Wick 3.
Yeah,
I haven't
it's
seen number 3, but
Dude,
I heard it's really
No,
good.
man.
What? No.
No one can go through that much punishment and then like
See, this
take
is where
on a
your
whole
mind
army.
is.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, I enjoyed the action. It was very, 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 very enjoyable. But it just ain't real. There's not
Yeah.
one guy going,
They're
he's the
actors.
boogeyman, or he's the... Fuck off. I don't want to waste my energy on explaining how stupid that... The whole little elite group that they have, and where you go into the hotel and you can't kill people, but because he's violated the one law now, he's being targeted by everyone. Fuck off, man. Yeah, sorry.
Do you set the rules for the movie?
Come on with something better.
So do you like watching movies where people just
And he
have
drives a
breakfast
Mustang.
and like
A
they
Mustang.
have breakfast and then
Like
they
all
go
the
to
cars
work?
he can drive, and he drives a Mustang.
And
Bro, all right, if you could have any car, what would it be? Mustang doesn't make your top
Something
5?
stupid like a Bugatti or something.
No, fuck yuck,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
You can't beat classics.
Something uncomfortable.
you can't beat classics. Like Mustang would be in my top 5. Like an original 67 or a 68, whatever
See.
fastback.
Mustang was never there for me. I think if
Yeah.
I had to, my ideal car, and it will always be my ideal car, James Bond, Aston Martin, DB9. Easy. It's elegant and class. That's all it is. For me, I don't see. I don't. It doesn't bother me about, the whole Mustang like power effect. It's just more. That's just class. It is absolute class, and like just the way he dresses. Just
I'm still waiting for a
Nah,
response.
Fast and Furious.
Gonna
Supra.
go
Orange Supra is iconic. That's when I fell in love with cars.
Bro, too many.
Nah, the
the
orange
people that
Supra,
drive
bro.
them turn me off.
Every time I played a car game, if I got to play the Supra, I tried to mimic that Supra with that wing every time.
I'll take Dom's Charger any day.
Yeah,
over it.
and the Charger also, yeah.
Dom's Charger, like
nah, the
even
Supra.
a Valiant Charger. Like I've always had a
Nah,
thing for Valiant
Supra
Chargers.
would
Like
go first.
love it.
I want the DeLorean from Back to the Future.
Yeah,
Fuck
maybe.
the future and the past. I wanna drive up and down the road. Go.
You are fucking negative, man. Like straight up. There's a lot of things
Nah, I've
about
never
you
liked
that
it. I've
is
always
negative.
questioned.
Do we need to bring
I've-
Maybach?
No.
Hey,
I've always
you due for another
questioned
session.
the DeLorean, the choice for the DeLorean.
Why?
Even though it is an iconic car, yeah.
Why?
But what's so special about it?
You know what it was? It's
What?
a poor man's car. The guy came from the future. It's an old antique car. He can't afford fucking probably what's considered the best car in the 80s, whatever it was.
They could have got like an Impala.
Yeah, he's gonna go there. Hey, Marty, jump in. Oh, you know. Well, I think we'll come back and revisit this trilogy shit.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Let me know if you guys watch Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I
Try to-
definitely
try to
will.
watch- again.
And maybe the people who are watching, please tell us your top 3. Like, it'll be interesting to see what people come up with. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna watch Clockwork Orange.
Well, don't listen to us.
Nah, listen to us.
Nah, don't listen
We
to us.
control your mind.
Please listen to us.
All right, boys. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All
See you
talk
guys.
to you later.
Later.
See ya.